and gentlemen, welcome to RENEBOXYOUNG, a platform where we simply discuss, critique, and analyze, talk about sport of boxing in level-headed, mature, coherent fashion. Subscribers since day one, recent subscribers, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Flash Lives, premieres of my videos such as this, man. Comments in the way, you know what I'm saying, in real time, you know what I'm saying. Playback family, salute, thank you guys so much. Also, I read the comments, I also, you know, collaborate with y'all there too. Thank you guys so much, man. Like it up, share it up. If this is your first time, you know what I'm saying, to the channel, if you love the sport of boxing, this is the place for you. Simple as that, easy peasy. We don't complicate life. We just chop up the sport. That's all we do, you know, simple as that, man. So I want to get right to this, man. You know, the Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia fight, I've given my 2 cents, you know, I've spoken my 2 cents on this, but now I want to go a little bit deeper, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, as I always say, there's always something new coming out, and there's new things that come out that solidify, you know, what I've been saying sometimes, you know, what I've been saying in certain aspects. And this is one of those aspects. And this is one of those situations where, you know, I'm going to push another video on it and talk about it just to show evidence is coming out, people coming out, valid sources coming out saying what I've been saying, okay? Or, you know, solidifying what I'm thinking. But we'll see, right? We'll see. But I just want to, you know, refreshing our memories on this. Refreshing our memories on what? First, this. Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, okay? We've talked about it in recent live sessions, man. You know, Ryan Garcia pulling out of this warm-up gig in January because he's supposedly just focusing on Tank Davis. Now, let me start with this. Oscar De La Hoya, man, was recently, you know, interviewed by several platforms out there when he was doing a, you know, toy drive, giveaway drive. Good stuff, man. Oscar, good guy, you know what I'm saying? Good guy. You know, giving back to the community, that's cool stuff, you know what I'm saying? I have criticized Oscar as a promoter, but not as a human being, you know what I'm saying? I don't really criticize people like that, you know, but I do when it comes to the sport of boxing, just in that aspect. For example, when I criticize fighters, I criticize them because in regards to the sport, you know what I'm saying? Not giving what we want when it comes to criticisms or when it comes to how they perform in the ring, blah, 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 things like that. But as far as their person, man, there are other people outside the ring, you know what I'm saying? So, but what Oscar's done, man, that's awesome. Giving back to the community, you know what I'm saying? Giving back to the kids. I think that's cool, man. I think that's a wonderful thing that he's doing, you know what I'm saying? So, but in that event, you know, that he pushed, I think it was in California, you know what I'm saying, around his hometown, as a matter of fact, you know what I'm saying, in his hometown. That's cool. People just rushing to him. You already know, man, you know, Oscar being a legend, man, people rush to this guy, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. Media runs to him and just ask him questions. You know, and he was asked about the Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis fight. He was asked other things, obviously, but this is the focal point here in this video. So watch this, man. And it seems like people aren't really paying attention to this. That's why I'm bringing this out. You know, it sticks out to me. These kind of things stick out to me, you know? It seems like what people kind of just ignore stick out to me, you know? So Oscar was saying, you know, he was asked about Tank Davis. What do you think about Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia? Ryan Garcia pulling out. What do you got on that? Whatever, right? He said, Oscar said, you know, it's not a good idea, you know, I mean, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but it's not a good idea. Big mistake that Ryan Garcia is pulling out of that warm-up gig, man. You know what I'm saying? He's speaking from the perspective of a fighter now, ladies and gentlemen, not as a promoter, okay? Let's understand and let's decipher things when people speak, you know? Oscar De La Hoya was speaking about from the perspective of a freaking legend in the sport, a fighter. From that perspective, he's saying, you know, what Ryan Garcia, it's a big mistake that he's pulling out. I think he needed, I'm paraphrasing, obviously. I'll leave the link in the description, you know what I'm saying? But he talked about how it's not a good idea, you know, for the biggest fight of your life to pull out like that out of a warm-up gig. Because you're going to need that warm-up fight, you know, to get you ready. Even though I beg to differ. I've been saying this for a minute, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that, you know, that warm-up gig's going to even prepare him for freaking a Tank Davis fight, you know what I'm saying? A fight against Tank Davis. And now pulling out, seeing this pattern from Ryan Garcia, the pattern, y'all know it, man. I've been talking about it for a minute. He's gonna be even less prepared for Tank Davis. But anyway, you know, Oscar De La Hoya, man, he was saying that, you know, this is him pulling out of this fight in January from whatever that dude's name was, all due respect. You know, he said that's a big mistake, man. You got to warm up. You got to, you know, warm up to fight Tank Davis. That's the first one. That's the first one. The next one is this, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. You know, come on now. If I'm not mistaken, man, in this article we're going to check also right now, Tank Davis, you know, talked about somewhere in social media, whatever, I think it was Twitter, saying that the fight against, you know, Ryan Garcia is signed, sealed, and delivered. No, it's not. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen, let's be real here. Why? Because Oscar De La Hoya, in that same interview I'm talking about, and these interviews that he's coming out in, you know what I'm saying, in that event, He said the fight's not signed yet. Ryan Garcia didn't sign. Maybe Tank was speaking for his part that he signed it. I don't think so, though. This is the thing, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Oscar, you know, the reporter asked. He said, hey, so is this fight, you know, what's going on? You know, what have you? He said, well, it's agreed. You know, Oscar said that it was agreed. The terms were agreed. Now, we got to stop here, man. That, you know, you get tired of this freaking stuff. You get tired, and this is why social media goes crazy. This is why, you know, the boxing community goes crazy and hypes up too much. This is exactly what they said about a lot of fights, mega fights. You know, in principle, these guys agreed on the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's agreed upon. Who cares? It doesn't mean the fight's gonna happen, and that's the problem with boxing community. A lot of people get hyped up about, you know, oh my gosh, they agreed, the fight's on. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Doesn't matter if they've agreed in principle. It doesn't matter if they agreed to go out and freaking eat some hamburgers at Burger King. It doesn't matter. Doesn't mean they're gonna freaking fight. You know what I'm saying? And Oscar De La Hoya came out and said there's nothing signed yet, man. They just said, oh yeah, they're agreed upon the terms, but we're still ironing out, we're crossing the T's and dotting the I's. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it's gonna happen, man. You know, prove me wrong. How many times do I have to say this? It would be cool to see, even though I still think it's a lopsided fight. You know what I'm saying? Lopsided fight, but hey, I'll watch it definitely. Of course I'll watch Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis. But I don't think it's going to happen, man. And here's another reason why. Check this out. Baltimore Sun. Okay, I think, you know, we all knew about this. You know, everybody knows about this, but again, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's going on, okay? This is what's going on. Let me get back to it before I even say this, before I show this. This is what's going on. We sweep these things under the rug because of other news that's coming out that's not even technically official. That's not even, you know what I'm saying? For example, in this case, the fight's not signed yet. No contracts were signed. They're still ironing out details. What the freak happened with Bud and Spence, man? According to sources, and these reputable sources, you know who they are. You go to Twitter, man. These Mike Coppinger guys, these ESPN guys, whatever. The main media platforms. November 19th is the date, or whatever the freak date they were putting on. I wasn't getting so hyped up about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, you gotta look through this stuff, man. You know, all these sources out here saying, yeah, November now is the date. No, November 19th is a date where no one's fighting. So, oh yeah, that's what Spence and Bud. Come on now, man. And the same thing, they were in negotiations and all that freaking drama that happened. They were in negotiations, weren't they? What happened? Floops. Somebody flipped the script and backed out. It doesn't mean, why am I saying this? Because it doesn't mean that, you know, they're going to fight just because Oscar's come, you know, he's saying we're crossing the T's and dotting the I's. Nothing's signed yet. Why are people getting so hyped up about it? I mean, of course, a lot of people want to see the fight. I understand that, but, you know, and this just adds to it. Getting back to the, you know, the Baltimore Sun, link in the description, you already know. Getting back to this article. This whole freaking article, okay, is talking about, oh my gosh, such an anticipating fight and how Tank Davis wants it so bad, and oh my gosh, he knocked out Rolly Romero and it was amazing, and blah, 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 yada, 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 whatever. And then there's just a little sentence. Even the article is like, you know, we don't want to talk about this, but it is what it is, right? They just want to focus so much on all this stuff. And then there's just a little mention right here, okay, at the very bottom. Before the biggest fight of his career, Davis will face a trial, which, according to court records, was pushed back from December 12th to February. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, come on now. This is the Baltimore Sun. I mean, I'm not the one saying it. It's the freaking article. You know what I'm saying? This source is coming out and saying it. And according to court records, I mean, come on, how much more official can we get than that? So let me get back to it, man. So before the biggest fight of his career, Davis will face a trial, which, according to court records, was pushed back from December 12th to February 16th. So that's 2023, ladies and gentlemen. That's 2023. So when stop there. We got to stop. When is Tank Davis going to take this fight against Hector? In January. He has court in February. In Baltimore Circuit Court and hit and run charges stemming from November 2012. But let's go further, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go further. A judge rejected a plea offer from prosecutors that would have allowed Davis to avoid jail time in the case. I mean, I'm no freaking lawyer, okay? I'm no lawyer. That's kind of why I try to stay away. I've done it before, but I try to stay away from this legal stuff. But it affects this potential fight. The judge, he rejected no jail time for Tank Davis. So that sounds like he's going to serve some jail time, man. So if that's the case, if freaking Tank Davis is going to go to trial for February, okay? Like I said, I'm no freaking lawyer. I really don't know much about this stuff, but, you know, let me just try to break this down. So if he's going to go to trial, okay, will face trial on February 16th, ladies and gentlemen. How long is that trial going to last? Okay? And if he's going to serve jail time, it's probably not going to be a week. I don't think it's going to be 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It's probably going to be a little bit more than that, ladies and gentlemen. February, March, maybe April get released. And when are they saying the Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia fight's going to be? You know, and then Tank Davis has to go to training camp for this fight. You know, and by that time, Ryan Garcia is gonna pull out another one, probably pull out a fast one. I gotta be active. I gotta take another fight. Yeah, I gotta take a fight. I'm not gonna fight Tank Davis now because I gotta take a warm up because, and you know, he has to warm up now. He has to go to training camp. This is too long. I can't wait around. I need to get money. Blah blah blah. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. And I personally think, man, I just don't think that Ryan Garcia wants to fight him just yet. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I hope they fight. I'm not trying to sit here saying that I don't want to see the fight. Of course I want to see the fight. But, you know, you just got to look at it from all angles. Oscar De La Hoya said contracts aren't signed yet. They're still negotiating things, whatever. They're still checking details out on the contract, you know, concerning the contract. I mean, I guess that's good news, but... You know, signed, sealed, delivered, Tank Davis? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? So people are talking about it's already official. The fight's already there. It's done. It's a done deal now. I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, man. I'm not so optimistic this fight's going to happen. But we'll see, man. Hey, it probably will happen. We'll see. I hope for the best. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens, man. RENEBOXYOUNG. What do you guys think is going to happen? I don't know, man. What do you guys think is going to happen? Comment in the comment section, please, man. Thank you guys so much. I want to hear from you. RENEBOXYOUNG, a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, simply talk about sport of boxing in a level-headed, mature, coherent fashion. Thank you guys so much, man. Like it up, share it up. You already know. RENEBOXYOUNG. Peace.